Hey everyone, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. This is so crazy. I never thought I would actually do this, but here I am. So for today's video, I'm going to start off by showing you guys how to get this beautiful light pinky sort of edit for your photos. I know it's very in right now and it's very aesthetic, and I love to personally do this on my skincare Instagram account, and if you don't follow that already, I'll leave a link down below. And yeah, so let's get into the tutorial. This is super quick and easy, nothing difficult, and yeah, just have a play around with it. So I use Lightroom, so let's open that up. You can get this on your phone for free, by the way, and it's got everything. So let's zoom into the photo, have a look at it. It's a nice photo, it's just looking a bit dull. And now scroll up to the lighting section, and we're going to look at exposure first of all. And I like to bring this up a tiny bit, nothing crazy. And play around with this because you can go a bit too high and it can make your photo look a bit silly. Moving on to contrast, have a bit of a play. And I usually like to bring it down to -7. That one works really well with this filter that we're going for. Highlights is another thing that I like to play around with, but make sure not to go too crazy with that one. So I went to +23. Shadows, the next one. So I pretty much do all of this, everything in lighting I do. So shadows +10 or 18, I can't see from here. Wow. Lights, I just brought it down to -6. Even though we're trying to make this look very bright and light, I brought the whites down and it actually made the photo look better. Blacks to +15. Scroll down a bit and we're at color. Here we are looking at temperature, so we want this to look very warm, not cool. So bring it up to the yellow section, only a tiny bit. There we go, +11. Even, I think you can even go lower. I think this one's a bit too bright, but let's move on to tint. +6, just so we're going to move the tint towards the pink because we want this to have a pinky type of look. We don't want it to be cold or green or blue. So we're going to ignore vibrance and saturation for now and move on to the color mixer. As you can see that this photo is very yellowy. So we're going to click on the yellow/golden type of color and we're going to move the hue and the saturation. So saturation, just play around with it for a bit. I like to move it down. There we go. Well, for this one, I accidentally did +1. It was meant to just be in the middle. Hue, move it towards the pink to get that extra pinky type of vibe. Wow, vibe. That's not the correct word to use. But yeah, it's looking completely different now. Let's have a quick zoom. You can zoom in to actually get a proper look at the photo. Here we go. I don't know why I paused here. There we go. That's the original and the edited version. I think it's a little bit too bright, so we might have to fix that up. But look at that difference. We only did a few things and it looks like you full put on one of those Instagram filters, but you didn't. You did this all yourself and you can control everything with Lightroom, which is amazing. So let's bring down the highlights because this is looking a little bit too bright. So I brought the highlights to +8 and it still looks the same, just not as crazy. You don't want to go too crazy because I think when you go a bit too bright and light, it can look overly edited. You want this to look very natural. Okay, so that is how I get my photos to look like that. Make sure to export this. I forgot to do it in this clip, but maybe I'll make another video on exporting and I'll show you how to do that because that can be a bit confusing. I've saved it here, but just so you know, saving it doesn't actually save the actual photo. You need to export to save the actual photo. When you save it, you're just saving the Lightroom file, not the actual photo. So Just a heads up. But yeah, thank you so much for watching if you did. I don't know how I did. This is my first ever video, so I'm a bit nervous, but I will be back with more. I love editing and I want to teach you all some tips and tricks. This is a very simple one, but I'll be back with some more content. And so yeah, like this and comment down below if you found this useful, if you're going to use it.